Hello again, and welcome back to Excel 2016. This time we're in Module 2, working with formulas and functions. And we're going to get started with page Excel 26, and up at step 1, we're going to open up from our data files EX2-1. So I'm going to browse and find that. And open it. Okay, so for step 2, oh, sorry, we need to rename this. So we're going to go to File and use Save As. And we're going to browse. And we're going to name it. We're going to name it EX space 2-R2G Tour Expense Analysis. So let me just go through those steps real quick again. I'm going to rename it EX 2-R2G Tour Expense Analysis and choose Save. And I've already got it in there, so I'm going to choose yes to replace my previous file. Okay. For step 2, we're going to select the cell range B4 through B11, and we talked a little bit last time about cell ranges. So I'm going to select B4 through B11, and you notice a little quick analysis icon pops up. So we're going to select it, and we're going to choose Totals tab. And from the Totals, we're going to choose Auto Sum button. So we're going to choose that. And it not only creates a function for sum, it also formats it. We're going to click in cell B12. And we're going to use the fill handle, which is down at the bottom right of that active cell, and we're going to autofill. So we autofill through E12. We're going to click next in cell B14. And we're going to add an equal mark. And remember, that's how we begin any formula or function. Then we're going to click in cell B12. Then we're going to type a plus to add. And next we're going to click back in B12. So we're going to add B12 to B12. So we're going to actually add that number to itself. And then we're going to use an asterisk for multiplication. So we're going to multiply that by 0.2. So that's 0.2. We're going to use the enter button on the formula bar to accept. Step 8, we're going to use tab. And we're going to type another equal. And this time we're going to select C12 and plus, type plus, and then click in C12 again. And we're going to use the asterisk for multiplication. And we're going to type in a 0.2. And then we're going to use the enter in the formula bar. Next, we're going to drag the fill handle from C14 through to E14. And we're going to save our work. And check our figures on the opposite page, and also it has some information on page Excel 27 about order of precedence. So basically what they want to emphasize here is that since multiplication gets performed prior to addition, this formula would not be adversely affected by the fact that we don't have parentheses in this particular formula. If you needed to force an operation to take place first, you would put that operation in parentheses. Okay, let's move on through to page Excel 28. And up at the top, we're going to click cell B15. We're going to use the insert function. So this is in the formula bar. And we're going to, there are several options in here. This shows you the most recently used, but you could also actually choose a specific type of function or all. But we can already see the averages listed, so that's the one we want. And we want to choose it and say OK. With that, we're going to get a function arguments dialog box. And we're going to, in order to see what we're working on, choose the collapse button next to the number. And we're going to select the cell range B4 through B11. And then we're going to expand. So you use that same button to expand. And then you say OK. So what we did was to find the average of these numbers that are listed in cell range B4 through B11. And it calculated that for us. Okay, so what you'll see, some of your assignments ask you to key in a formula, and some ask you to add a function. And what's the difference? A formula is generally something you're going to type in yourself, and a function is something that Excel has already got a formula created to use for that, so all you have to do is know the name of that particular function. But let me just say this, lots of people use those terms interchangeably, but a function is something that you would generally that you would find that Excel already knows about, and that you're going to find a list of those functions in Excel. All right, we're going to take and now next and go to C15, and we're going to choose the auto sum list arrow in the editing group. So on your home tab, you're going to see the editing group to your far right, and you're going to see the auto sum. And remember from the previous example, we could see that there were other things listed in the drop down that we could take advantage of, but this time we're going to choose average. And we're going to then, we don't want to use the number that's just above that. We want to take and select cell range C4 through C11. And then we're going to use the enter button, which is a check mark on the formula bar. And then we're going to drag and fill C15 through to E15. All right. We're going to save our work and take a peep at the figures on the opposite page, and then move to page Excel 30. Up at the top of page Excel 30, we're going to click in from step 1 to, we're going to click in cell B16. And we're going to use an equal sign and start typing with the letter M. And you'll see you'll get a pop-up list of functions that begin with the letter M. And we want to choose max. And if you double click on max, you'll get the ability to add in the numbers you want to use for that. So in this case, we're going to select the cell range B4 through B11. And then we're going to use the enter button on the formula bar. Next, we're going to click in cell B17, and we're going to use an equal sign again, and we're going to start typing. We're using the letter M, and we get that same list of functions. This time, we're going to take and use the minimum value. So we're going to double click minimum, and we're going to take then and select B4 through B11. And we're going to press enter. Next, we're going to select, notice the pointer, select B16 through B17. Okay, they're both selected. Then we're going to use our autofill to drag through to cells E16 through E17. So we're going to autofill through E17. Okay, next you want to save your work. And we can check out the figures on the opposite page and move to page Excel 32. Up at the top of Excel 32, step 1, we're going to select the cell range B3 through E3. And we're going to use the copy button that's up in the clipboard group on the home tab. And we're going to click the clipboard dialog box launcher. Then we're going to select by clicking in B19. And we're going to choose the paste button in the clipboard group. But we don't want it there, so we're going to use the delete key to get rid of that. Then we're going to click in cell B20. And we're going to choose the first item in our clipboard, office clipboard. And that's where we want it. And so we're going to close out the clipboard. There we go. We're going to click in cell A14.